So, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. We are back. It is Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Pekudei, break between Shkalim, next week Zachar, this week just at Pekudei, single Parsha, and a lot of things we know already. We've been hounding everybody past few weeks on the Mishkan. Everyone kind of knows the basics and the whole premise, uh, whole operation. There's an interesting piece towards the end of the Parsha I want to focus on today. Um, so Kenan Hashem Mishkan Hamasehem. So the parsha ends literally talking about that there was an Anan of Hashem on the Mishkan, the Hamasehem, and all the travels. All the travels. We don't even know how many travels there are at this point, but in a couple of months, when we get towards the end of Bamidbar, we're going to understand all these travels. When we get to Devarim, 42. 42 places that we're going to get to. Most of them we don't even know. Most of them we do know. We don't know what took place in these places, but we know there's 42, 6 directions, 7 days a week, 42, whatever 42 is for us. But 42 places, we don't understand why 42, why not 3, why not 5, why not 7. We know the Jewish people were supposed to go in really quickly, but the Egel pushed things off. They had to be forgiven. In the Luchos, we know that the Raglim pushed things off 40 years. Jewish people were supposed to go in much faster, but new 40 years, 42 places. Okay, so let's see if Shalom picks up on this place. And first, he wants to know that we've said this for months already. That every time it says something in the Torah, it's not a one-time thing. It's not for those people as opposed to us. Homasehim, all the travels, including us as well. So that's the first we want to kind of throw out there. That when something in the Torah takes place on story time, Shalom keeps hounding this and keeps pushing this point over and over again. So it's a good thing to also, I guess, put this through again, is that the Torah is forever and applies to everybody. So that's the first piece. And the Sivasham goes on and says there's 42 places. Each place really was a certain tafkid, a certain job, a certain bechina aspect to get to Eretz Yisrael. For the Jewish people to finally get to Eretz Yisrael, they had to go through 42 stations, places, travels, whatever you want to call it. We don't really say it's travels or stops, but these are stations going level to level, place to place, things that good things happen, things that bad things happen, things that had to do tshuva for, place that Moshe dies, 42 things that take place literally. And the Hshem quotes famous Baal Shem Tov in the Sefer Degel Machne Ephraim, who more or less says that it's not just for the Jewish people of Mitzrayim, 42 places, but it's us as well. Every Jewish person has 42 masos in their life, whether it's 42 places in the middle 40 years of their life. I don't know how everyone has 40 years in the middle of their life. Maybe not everyone lives to 40 years. Either way, the 40 difficult years of your life, whether it's 20 to 60, 30 to 70, 10 to 50, whatever, 40 years, I'm not sure exactly. It doesn't really specify what the 40 difficult years of a person is. But we're talking about, I would say, either bar mitzvah age or age 20 until 60 or 70, the core years where the Yetzer Hara is the strongest, where we're looking to make a living, looking to get married, bring up your children, things like that. So everyone has their core 40 years. And within those 40 years, you have 42 travels or stations to get to. It's kind of like, going through the Monopoly board and pass through Go. You have to get all these different pieces together. Properties, you're gathering things. You're more or less opening up your suitcase. You're more or less on travel. We're in this world. We're here temporarily. We're traveling through this world. And in your suitcase, there's 42 things you got to pick up, whether it's comparable to 48 ways we're coming to the Torah, whether it's 42 attributes, exactly what 42 different aspects of life is. But everyone has that job. Everyone really has 42 different things that they get to, and whether we're literally traveling 42 places or you're living in the same place, but just coming across situations where you have to grow in 42 different areas, that's really what's taking place here. With that said, the Siva Shalom really goes on and says, while we're traveling in this world 42 places, there's one thing to really understand, to remember, that there's Anan Hashem, Alam Mishkan Chol Masehim, that there's a level of shmira the person has from HaKadosh Baruch Hu if they look for it and if they're trying to find Hashem, whether it's Anan, whether it's Choshech, whether Arafel. The Torah has different words how you define darkness. Anan is cloud, Choshech darkness, and Arafel is a deep fog, a really strong fog. Um, and a person is looking for Hashem, then it's Anan. Then you see a cloud, you're doing well, but there's a cloud, more or less, you know Hashem is there. Then there's Choshech, when things are dark times, and things are pretty bad, whether it's a milchama going on, whether you lose your job or a loved one, and things are bad. But you have to understand that Hashem is there. Yeah, Hashem is always there on top of us. Hashem is always guiding us, and there's always a way to look and find Hashem. And the third level is Arafel. Arafel is a thick fog. And Torah sometimes, not times, excuse me, very few times the Torah specify Arafel. Usually it's Moshe. Moshe goes in the Arafel, Nigash El Harafel. Moshe can get to the fog and find Hashem. And very few people really have the ability to find Hashem even in the furthest of places. Most people, whether, oh, things are great, oh, God's great. When things are bad, I got to step up my game, or I'm on my own, or no one's looking out for me, or I'm alone in the world. And we have to understand that Moshe was able to find Hashem in that Raphael, and it's really a lesson for us as well. Haster, Aster. Hashem says openly, I'm hiding myself. After the Egel, and the Jewish people are not destroyed, but this lesson of Haster, Aster. There's a lesson of that Hashem is hidden in the world, and it's our job to find Hashem, but maybe more important is not to feel lost in the world. There's no Yush for Jewish people. It's usher to feel Yush. That's the worst thing. A person is never pushed away. A person is never forgotten by Hashem. A person always the ability to call on Hashem. And this is really the lesson the Siv Shalom also brings down with Purim. Hopefully we'll get to another piece next week talking really about Purim. But the Siva Shalom asks the question is, why is Purim so important where it won't be Mevatel? Chagim will go away. Oh, Mashiach will come. Pesach will be much smaller because we'll have a greater Geula. Shavuos will go away because we're getting the Torah by Mashiach. There's a greater, not Sukkot anymore. Hanukkah, we're not getting anything. We're going to always have Purim. And the question is, why is Purim? If anything, Purim is the least important for most people. Most people either they drink or they hate the people that drink. So it's usually people fight against each other. The people that drink think the people that don't drink are insane, and people who don't drink, people who do drink are low lives. So no one knows half with each other. Even everyone tries to kind of get along with it. Middle of Purim, that guy's throwing up on the floor. This guy drank too much, and these guys hate drinking. They're sending grape juice all the time. So everyone hates each other at Purim because no one's on the same page with drinking. But it's Shalom. So what's the importance of this? And the lesson of why Purim won't go away is because Purim in every year, every generation, Purim is very strong lesson. Because you're never going to have a situation where there's not Jewish people that feel hope from Hashem. They feel very far from Hashem. And most people give up. There's Muhammad going on. All right, whatever it says on the internet, or we have to be careful, or things are spiraling out of place. There's no tikva. There's no hope for things. Things are really disaster. And Haster Aster, that's really what takes place. It's on purpose. Hashem set the world up. And our job is not to give up. Our job is not to have yush. So the lesson of not to give up, even in the darkest times, is applicable all the time. And that won't go away. Because forever, unfortunately, or always going to have people that either are giving up hope or people who have a really rough matzav. So this lesson of Purim Aster won't go away. And Chol Masayim, all 42 travels a person has in the world, there's going to be ups, there's going to be down. You're going to be living in one place, it'll be great, and then you can move, it's not going to be great. One kid you're going to marry off really fast, and the other kid's going to take a long time. There's no 42 stations that are good in the world. No one has perfect life. People you think have it easy, and they have really nice cars and nice places. Um, their marriage may not be great, or there may be a relative that needs help or is not well physically or spiritually or mentally, and we don't know these things. So there's 42 travels of the world, good, bad, but the constant is to always know that Hashem is there, either whether it's Hashem in the Anan, or even Hashem in the Choshech, where it's dark times, or even Arafel, even when it's so thick, um, you're spiritually foggy, literally, and it's difficult to see Hashem. You don't deserve maybe to even have Hashem in your life because you've done some bad things. But Purim's the lesson that there's no there's no going away forever. There's no going away. And even the Jewish people gave up hope. Even the leaders gave up hope. Choseri Hamelech, the Jewish leaders gave up hope. Only Mordechai really was the one to be b'simcha. And even though he knew that, um, he was confident that there was going to be Yeshua. There's no, well, Malcolm Acher. It's not going to happen this way. It's going to happen another way. Let's not lose hope. Let's not go crazy with this. And Mordechai was the one to hold it together. And hopefully, even in these unfortunately dark times, um, we have to understand that Hashem is pulling the strings, and not lose hope. And that's our lesson for today. Shabbat Shalom.